West, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
You got 56 there.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now Justin Coleman brings him down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara, and he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Carr.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
6:37.
From the gun now on third down. Carr over the middle. It's Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Boston Scott, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Double.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Tiger. 15, yeah.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Hey, on.
And here's Marshall. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Let's go, yellow. I said 980.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Demario Davis there on the stop. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, 35.
Now Marshall. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, Their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Right back to him on first down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. It's Smith. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4.
35.
This is Marshall. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Who's right, Chief? 618. Low.
Throwing on first down as Carr drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run it with Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. Now Carr, forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Derek Carr, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints add on to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks, we'll see. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Alex Okafor in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Let's go. Let's go, 15. Hey, back up. No, right.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
12. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. It's caught, blocking. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They snap it to Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Watkins. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
694.
The final shot here before half for Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken at his 4. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Smith. And the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
29.
They run again with Ware. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Dancing to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The Saints on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 7.
6-18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Smith. Going deep here for Watkins. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down.
I said 980.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Let's go, 15.
Throwing again. Smith. This complete to Lockett. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Again, Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Carr to throw on second down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On third down, here's Kamara. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10, Smith again. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and forever. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down, Carr. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Smith finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, 35. Let's go. 15.
On second down, here's Smith. And he finds a man. That's Watkins. It's a big play there for Seattle. 49 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. 11 more on that one, and another first down. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, here's Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
734.
To throw his car. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.